Thank you for meeting with me, Coach Hatchell. So, as you know, this interview is about Verdine and how she got CIAA Player of the Year and All-American. So, I want to ask you, when you found out Verdine won CIAA Player of the Year, how did that make you feel since you worked with her the most out of all the coaches?
I felt really good for her because it's like she came in with, kind of as a raw talent in the beginning and worked really, really hard to improve her game and to get better as a player and as a person. And it just shows how much hard work can do if you have the right attitude.
Absolutely. What was her reaction?
She was excited. When I mentioned it to her, she was saying, "Oh yeah, that was great." So she had good vibes.
Right. Now, before the season began, did you know for a fact that she was going to be a huge factor for the team?
Oh yes, I mean at her size, she was a factor last year, and where the point that she started and where she ended up last season was an amazing accomplishment for her. But we just used this year. Our goal was to get better and then go beyond where she was and try to make herself a dominant player.
Yeah. Now, were you and Verdine on the same page as far as the same goals for this season?
Oh yes, we sat down, talked about what she needed to work on, where she wanted to be when the season was over. Where did she expect, and to push herself. She's one person that's always been pushing herself. She's never been really satisfied. She's a really good, hard-working player.
Okay. Now, were there things that she needed to improve as far as, as far as footwork or fundamentals? Were there anything that she needed to improve, or she already had it down pat?
Well, last year was a learning year for her, and she got her offensive back-to-back post moves. She had them down, but in a game she didn't use them. She just basically had like one move she used. And so one goal that I had for her was to do what she knows how to do in a game where it counts. And she did that pretty much the whole season.
Okay, perfect. Now, the times when she didn't deliver the way you wanted her to, did you sometimes have to be extra hard on her?
No. We talked about it, if she was lackadaisical in her approach or not putting forth the effort, then I'd get hard. But, all we had to do was talk about it because she wanted it and she was going to find a way to work towards that. So I didn't necessarily need to be hard on her for that.
Okay. Now, besides the fact Shaw didn't win CIAA this season, would you say she was satisfied with the way things went down, or did she want more?
I think she was happy with her performance, but I think she was, dissatisfied that we didn't go farther, and that, we played great our first round tournament game, and then in the second game we just didn't show up, and we weren't the most talented team other than Verdine. Everybody else was more. We didn't have players that could just create and take it and go, and we needed to play together as a team. And in that game, we just didn't have energy. But I mean, Verdine played her heart out. She did the best she could.
Right. What does her teammates have to say about her performance this season?
Well, I know that I called her the X Factor because she was so tall and had long arms. A lot of times, especially early in the season, when we just had a bunch of new players in and they weren't yet seasoned, I guess, didn't have experience, we depended on her heavily early in the season. And they would give her the ball, a lot more. Now, as the perimeter players progressed, then they took more shots and it kind of limited some of her shots. And then she got scouted too, and people just started packing it in, trying to jam her and force us to take outside shots.
Do you think basketball's in Verdine's future once she graduates from Shaw?
Yes, she can go play somewhere overseas. They have different levels over there where they want American players and they like American big players, and she's got that.
Cool. And how do you think she grew as a player?
Well, when I first saw her shoot in the gym, I remember that day, I was thinking, oh my Lord. But, when somebody wants to get better, we as coaches, we can always help them get better because they want to, and they'll listen and they're coachable, and they'll take what you say and then they'll really go after it. You never had to worry about her coming into the gym halfway. You never had to talk to her, try to get her to come down. She was always here. She was like a sponge, just trying to soak in as much as she could.
Well, that's it. Thank you.
All right. Hope that works out all right.
It did.
I tried to
Thank you so much.
enunciate. I'm Southern. I tend to slur.